Hello and good evening from Germany. This is Jonathan Quill Higgins, joined by my good friend Thomas Burnett. Hello, good evening.
Hi, how are you doing, Jonathan?
I'm doing very good. How are you?
Yeah, doing good, thank you. It's been a very nice sunny day outside, as you can see. It's
Yes, it looks fantastic actually.
yeah, nice
Yeah.
and sunny.
Yeah, because
Just the
usually
last of
we
it.
we think that you're in a living in a dark room, so it's nice. It's nice that you have a summer evening as well. Same here.
Yeah, it's been lovely today.
Yeah.
Really nice and sunny.
So we have Rich Mitch here in the comments. Wrong show,
And
Rich Mitch, but be our guest. Yeah, we're not Lux here, but we get the joke. So yeah, it has been a while since I've been live on, and I'm gonna tell the viewers a little bit what I've been doing in the last couple of weeks. Not much in terms of watches. But I would like to start with a topic which is quite recent. The Olympics in Paris have started yesterday.
yeah,
Did you watch the opening show
I
yesterday?
didn't see the opening ceremony. I heard it went on for 4 hours.
Yeah, it was quite long. I saw the beginning and the end, and it just reminded me how beautiful Paris is. I know that
Yeah.
that there is some controversy because the final supper has been has been played by an almost naked Greek god surrounded by transvestites. So I know that this ruffled some feathers. But let's keep
Yeah,
in mind we are in Paris, we are in France. That is the place where the French Revolution happened and where the Renaissance happened. So I think
true.
you shouldn't be too surprised about the stuff that the French are doing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very what am I trying to say? It's very flamboyant
Yeah,
place, isn't it?
but
It's
other than that controversy, I thought it was spectacular because I like the idea to have that opening ceremony on the river, um,
yeah,
because many more people could watch it than being limited to a stadium. I'm hearing about
true.
300,000 people have been
Wow.
watching it instead of a stadium, which probably has 50,000. And it was beautiful to see all the beautiful sights in Paris, and I think they put a lot of effort. The illuminated Eiffel Tower is always fascinating
Stunning,
to
isn't
me,
it?
and
Stunning.
yeah,
Yeah.
they did a fantastic job.
The Arc de
We,
Triomphe, the Eiffel Tower, just the whole ambience of Paris is beautiful. Yeah.
yep. So we have the original OC here in the background. Upvote for Thomas and Jonathan Higgins too, I guess. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Shots
Austin.
fired. I will address your new watch in a second, but I would like to be on the hot topic, which is the Paris Olympics. And I found a very interesting article about the gold medals that are given to the winners of those
Oh, aren't they
competitions.
beautiful? Be stunning gold medals that they've got this year.
Yeah. So the company that makes it is the famous Paris jeweler Chaumet, which is owned by Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton has a big role. They supplied the trays for the medals and also had a big part on yesterday's opening ceremony. In my opinion, it bordered a little bit onto product placement, but Louis Vuitton is really present in those games. Now, it intrigued me a little bit what they did with that with this particular medal, because you can see that part here, which is very interesting. So that is the center part of any medal, gold, bronze, or silver, and that is an iron part, and that is a piece from the Eiffel Tower. So a couple of
Really?
years ago,
Wow.
yeah, when they restored the Eiffel Tower, they put away 90 kilos of steel for that purpose. I think they're doing in total over 5,000 medals, and each of
Wow.
those medals have a little piece of the Eiffel Tower in the center.
How beautiful.
Yeah, I think that is a very nice touch. Also, I like how they set this steel part, because you can see here the hobnails, which in French is called clous de Paris, or nails of Paris. So this is as Parisian as it gets, and I like that they had those jewel settings with those hobnails as a reference to Paris, and of course then this pattern that also reminds a little bit on the Clou de Paris. So I think it's
And of course,
articulate.
we hear that term "clou de Paris" in watches, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
And we hear,
So
and also Chaumet make watches themselves, don't they?
I'm not sure if they're using Clou de Paris. I'm pretty sure they do, but for example, Patek, the Calatrava with the hobnail bezel, that is all Clou de Paris.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's quite common, but the normal setting for jewel doesn't have that Clou de Paris. It's
Yeah.
usually it's domed curved, and I really like that they use the Clou de Paris as a setting.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Now the material, and I may disappoint OC because I know his main goal is to win a gold medal of the Olympics. So those those gold medals are not really solid gold. So what I
Oh,
found out,
really?
yeah, what I found out is the gold and silver medals are made out of sterling silver, and the gold medals have a gold coating or coverage. So the gold medal has 6 grams of gold, which is more than a plating. So I guess that they kind of roll a layer of gold on the sterling
Oh,
silver.
that's a bit of a cop out, isn't it? You expect to win a gold medal when you come
But
first, don't you?
yeah,
You
but that
expect
has
to.
been going on for years, that the
Really,
gold
has
medals
it?
are not solid gold. Yes.
Really, has it?
So this is not new. I was following the news on previous Olympics, and they always say the medals are not solid gold. So
Right,
yeah,
interesting. I
yeah.
always thought they were a chunk of gold.
No,
You often
no.
see them biting into it when they win,
Yeah. But now you can get off your training bike. I guess the gold medal is not a personal goal for you, probably.
I get off the rowing machine and
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so we have our good friend Muhammad Ali here in the house. Welcome back, guys. Enjoying a lovely summer evening walk in London, listening to you. Good evening to you as well. I hope that
Oh,
you're
good
having a
evening,
beautiful
Mohammed. We had a
evening.
wonderful summer walk in Hampstead Heath, didn't we? When we were at the Brauhaus, that was wonderful, Mohammed. Yeah, enjoy your walk.
Yeah, and I was meeting Muhammad a week ago
Oh,
when we were
really?
in London
Great,
as well. Yeah.
beautiful.
So JB is in the house. Hello,
Hi,
fellas. Hello
JB,
to
JB.
you. I hope that the weather in Portugal is also good. I hope that you got over um, the how do is got over the fact that Portugal didn't make it to the finals, and yeah, I hope that you're enjoying the summer as much
The
as we do.
Algarve is always a beautiful place. I've been to the Algarve a few times. It's such a nice place.
Hmm.
It's
I guess the food
wonderful.
is fantastic as well, isn't it?
Yeah, beautiful seafood, and it's a great place. You're a lucky man, JB.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Mohammed says hello to JB. JB says hello to Mohammed. Original OC greets them all. So all peace and love and harmony here. Double Crown. Not sure if I've seen Double Crown in the comments. Good evening and thanks for tuning in the show.
Yeah, I think
Um,
he's a fellow colonist from
oh,
Double Crown.
okay.
So good to see you, Double Crown.
So
Good to see you, my friend.
we have celebrity here. Very good. So last Tuesday, I thought that I'm putting on my heavy hitter Lange. I was driving my Porsche after quite some time, and I was just enjoying a summer um, morning with the watch and the car, and I had a fantastic experience or a fantastic time doing that. Now let's.
You can't start a show without a wrist shot check, can you? It's like Tim Mosso's show on a Monday. He does wrist shots, and so you got to just check, slide in a little wrist shot there, Jonathan. Very
Yeah,
nice.
people will say,
Driving the Porsche,
yeah. Well,
with my lager
what
on
watch
the
are you wearing
wrist, and
tonight?
say again.
What watch are you wearing tonight?
I'm wearing a summery Seiko Mikan Orange Seiko 5, so I'm low key, very low key today.
Yeah, very good.
Um,
So I'm wearing my Porsche design watch tonight, and if we have time enough, then I'll try to cover that. Now, I said
which line is this then?
that
Is
is
this
the
the
Polymerite. That is the tourbillon
heavy hitter, the
Polymerite. Yeah,
Polymerite?
yeah.
Very nice indeed.
Yeah, I'm not wearing her too often, but I was on the way to the supermarket, to be honest, and I
I
was
don't
just
wear it too often, but when I go to the supermarket, I chuck in
well,
my Polymerite.
well,
I
we
love
just
it.
returned from a cruise, and I picked the watch up from the bank safe, so that was the reason why it was away, and yeah, I'm teasing Tan because he's complaining about the watch collectors that don't dare to wear their watches, and I just gave him that picture and told him on my way to the supermarket. Hey, we have here
Excellent.
my little brother Mathis. Very good to see
Mathis,
you.
how you doing, my friend? Good to see you,
Yeah.
mate.
Double Crown is wearing the Explorer 1 today.
Ah,
Which size?
nice.
39, 40, or 36?
Classic watch, that the
Yeah.
Explorer 1.
So Tanzil is here. This is the first time this watch has seen daylight in 6 months. Yeah, he says I haven't worn it yet. So yeah, oh,
Good
oh,
to see
good.
you, Tom.
Okay, so what happened during those watch meetups? Um, we
So this
we
is
had
when you went to see Muhammad Ali, and looks like Russell might have been there.
exactly Russ was there. 1 second. Yeah,
Look
Russ
at
is a
that.
stranger, and
Is he wearing Langer as well?
yeah, he's wearing, in my opinion, probably the best Lange that exists.
Wow.
So he brought this watch especially for me. That is a Lange 1 Tourbillon.
Wow.
1 second, and I had the privilege to have it on my wrist.
So, oh my days, look at that.
So
Oh,
so this is a Lange 1 Tourbillon Handwerkskunst, limited edition to 20 pieces. This is an enamel dial, which is now I'm mixing the word. It's not flanque. It's pioneer. Oh, 1 second. What is the name? So it's negative engraved, and then the enamel is added on. I always forget the name. It's not
I thought that
pioneer.
was Flanque, isn't it?
No, I think it's flank. Is it flank? I don't know at the moment. I have a brain fart. Maybe later or
It's a beautiful watch, anyway.
yeah.
It's
So
gorgeous.
flanque is with the waves.
Right.
Pioneer
Okay.
is with a little palette. I'm out of my mind. Hey, we have Saad here in the house. Good evening, Saad. Very good to see
Good to
you.
see you, sir.
So, but the enamel dial is not really. It's flanque. So Patel Philippe says it's flanque. Okay.
Yeah, I
Flanque
thought it might
is
have been
with the
Flanque.
waves, isn't it?
I thought Flanque was just a general engraving on the metal underneath the enamel and then enameled over.
Okay.
I
Well,
didn't know it was just restricted to wave patterns.
yeah.
I thought it was
Okay.
any engraving.
Okay. I rest my case here. Now two people has said flanque, so it's flanque. So, but the enamel dial is not the star of the show. However, if you turn it out of the light, the dial appears totally black, pitch black, which is a nice effect.
Yeah.
But here you can see that cock that holds the tourbillon, and that is probably the biggest truly black polished piece that I know in horology. We've been talking about black polishing before, and how difficult it is to make properly. and this huge chunk of metal is officially black polished.
Geez, Russell's just the man, isn't he? He's just heavy hitter watch guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He
And it's
doesn't
not
mess around. He doesn't mess around with his watches. Does he? Look at this. This collection must be one of the best about.
yeah.
It's
What is
amazing.
Stanziel playing now? Yes, Higgy, you are right. It's Pioneer. Now we.
Pioneer.
I think he's trying to troll me. So let's call it enamel on a negative engraving.
Give him a timeout.
Yeah. No, but I'm not in YouTube, so at the moment I can't give him.
Only joking.
Okay, no, but yeah. So Russ brought this spectacular watch, and I really enjoyed that. So you can see
we've got the Celestial Voyager. I take it Muhammad Ali is wearing his Vacheron.
Exactly. Muhammad is wearing the Vacheron. I brought my Celestial Voyager, particularly for Russ. He asked me to bring that watch.
Wow.
On my other wrist, I had the Porsche design because I didn't trust the hotel safe. So that day, I decided to wear both watches.
It almost looks like it's got a gold dial on it, the Porsche design there.
Yeah, I think it's only the dodgy lighting. So
yeah.
And here's Russ with his
beautiful
lange 1 Tourbillon Handwerkskunst. By the way, talking about the devil, Russ was. Oh, shit. Okay, 1 second. I have to make a screenshot because Russ was at Patek a couple of days ago, and he got offered this particular watch. 1 second. Can you see that?
Oh, the world time with Australia on it. No, it's quite the Cloisonné with Australia on. That's quite a rare one, isn't it?
It is very rare. It is white gold. So it is the current Cloisonné dial that Patek does for those world times. And he's considering or thinking about if he should get it or not. He already has the previous model, I think in rose gold, if I'm not mistaken, with the Cloisonné dial, and that was his first Patek, and he picked that up in person in Geneva. That was a really good experience for him.
Wow.
So Mathis is asking, Higgy, you stealing the meetup shtick from Mathis? Not sure if I'm doing that. Probably I made meetups before you were even born, Mathis. So I'm I'm not sure who is stealing from who, but
Mathis is the king of meetups. He's the colony king of meetups.
Yeah, but how long is he doing those meetups?
Well, I think they've been going on quite a while, a couple of years, I think.
Okay.
You were doing them a decade ago, were you, Jonathan?
Well, James Bond meetups, if I'm totally honest. So
not quite the watch meetups, but James Bond memorabilia meetups.
Coming back to the gold medal, I wanted to show our American cousins something, and now that we have Mathis in the house, I can't miss that opportunity. So if you see the motif on the back side, you will see the goddess of victory, and the goddess of victory is not called Nike. She's actually called Nike. That is a Greek name, and she's the Nike of Samothrace, and that statue is being displayed in the Louvre in Paris. So that is not Nike, that is the goddess of victory. And
but it's spelled Nike.
It's spelled Nike, but it's not really. It's not really Nike.
She should, in theory, have a little swoosh underneath her. Yeah. Can I see it? I think I can see a little swoosh.
A swoosh?
From the right, coming from the right.
I think the inspiration is more. I mean, you see the Acropolis there. So that is the old Greek stadium, and those are tracks actually. So that is the old stadium here in Athens, where they are
Right.
lighting
Yeah,
up
yeah,
the
yeah,
Olympic
yeah.
fire, and those are the tracks of the stadium.
The running tracks. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So and those tracks are
Wow.
longer than in a normal stadium and narrower. So
Wow.
so now we have a tangent into Nike and Nike and whoever. Now,
Well, Math has been a Greek god himself, so you know how it.
yeah, didn't I say that? Greek goddess of victory. Say it correct. I said that, didn't I? Everybody is trying to confuse me here. We have here
It's
mobster.
hard, isn't it, Jonathan? It's hard.
Yeah, we have mobster here, but Sat can do that much better. Mobster is also asking a question. Jonathan Quay-Higgins, tell us why German is the most superior nation. Okay, to have ever existed, and how German will win gold this year. Actually, I don't believe that Germany is the most superior nation to have ever existed. That kind of belief brought us a lot of trouble, I would say, and I genuinely don't believe. I believe in equality
Equality.
of people. So no matter which nation you are from, we are all humans, we are all people, and we are equal. So in my opinion, it's 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 against my belief that one nation, one race, one continent is better than another one. What do you think about that?
I believe in equality as well,
Yeah.
Jonathan. Yeah, we're all humans. No one's perfect, and we're all the same, really, aren't we?
Well,
So,
talking about no one is perfect, and Mathis is just leaving a comment. So Math is certainly not perfect. So, but yeah, okay. No, but I think it will be a run between China and the US, who is winning the most medals. So Germany is out of that competition, and probably the UK as well.
oh yeah, yeah. The UK's a little dot of an island. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Um,
but it's nice to see those games on the TV, and it's nice to see some exotic athletes and probably some sports that usually you don't see. Actually, my favorite location of the Olympics this year is where the surf competition is taking part. Did you hear
oh
about that?
right, right. No, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I
So
saw I saw South Africa winning the rugby today, and I
yeah.
was watching Rafa Nadal and the other great Spanish tennis player in the tennis
Mhm.
doubles today as well. And but there's so much you get overwhelmed with at Olympics time. You just get overwhelmed with the amount of stuff there is on.
Yeah.
It's got one after the other. It's just several things happening every day. It's just gets overwhelming. You can't keep up with it.
So the surf competition can't take place at the Seine for obvious reasons, because the waves are not high
Ah,
enough.
right. Okay.
So now they made a smart move because France wanted um, to integrate their overseas um, nations. They still
Ah,
have an
right.
overseas presence.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the surf competition are taking part in Tahiti.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, and I think that is a fantastic idea, fantastic place to have those surf competitions there, and gives a totally different vibe.
Yeah, different, totally different. Yeah, it's so different, like you say.
So we have new
Interesting.
visitors here. Tim G is in the house. Patel Philip says, "Howdy, Tim G," and my friend brother Neo is here
Brother
joining as well.
Neo, the golden path of light, of peace and love.
Oh yeah,
It's
and we lift our hands. Yeah, I remember. I think Neo is. Yeah, he's actually, and he's serious about that. So may the golden path of peace and love guide you forward, and we accept that guidance from you,
absolutely,
Neo.
yeah.
I remember Neo always hopping on Archie's streams saying "Hello, humanity." Do you remember that?
That's the Neo line. It's his
Yeah,
introduction to all streams. It's Hello Humanity. He's been doing it for a decade now or
yeah,
more.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is
So,
what I connect with Neo, and
Neo.
I'm happy that he found back to the golden path of peace and love after going massively after OC. But I know that he's serious. I know that Neo is a good guy. We've always been in touch, and I always appreciated his input and his wise thoughts. Loose
He's
Tooth
a
is
good
here.
guy.
Loose Tooth
Yeah.
is in the house. Good
Liz
evening.
too. How you doing? Good to see Liz too. We've
So
got some good people in the chat today, haven't we?
yeah,
Got some-
fantastic. Yes.
Yeah.
Can you see? Oh, we have 19 viewers, so that is not bad for a
Very
Saturday
good.
evening when the
Off to a
Olympics
good
are.
start.
Yeah. So we are having here the GPHG, some contestants, or the first round has been started, and this is, in my opinion, is always a very interesting time.
Oh, don't show me that Gerald Charles watch. He looks like a toilet seat.
Okay.
They all look like toilet seats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toilet seat is, I mean, you never heard that, but you have a point, I would say.
It does look like a toilet seat, that Gerald
Yeah,
Charles one,
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
it?
yeah. No, you
Oh,
have a point. I don't disagree with you. Actually, in my opinion, this Gerald Charles design, no matter how they spin it, I can't get over it, and I can't love it, and I can't accept it. It just looks
well,
off.
they're giving us this spin about it's Gerald Genter, and I don't know where the Charles comes from, but I just look
Well,
at it and I think toilet seat. I don't want to know any more about it. It's
I
just,
think you cornered a new term. Actually, Gerald Charles, you know the history of the company,
no, I don't fully know the
no?
history.
So I think Charles is Gerald Genter's second name. So
Ah, right,
Gerald
okay.
Genter sold his company, I think, to Bulgari at
Right,
one
okay.
point, or somebody who sold it then to Bulgari. So he sold his design company. So he couldn't name a new company that he made after. He couldn't name it anymore after his name. So that was then his trick of getting the legalities aside, and found a new company that was not Gerald Charles, but now not Gerald Genter, but Gerald Charles.
Yeah,
So
right, okay.
apparently it is a Gerald Genta design, in my opinion, not his finest hour.
No.
So and maybe one day we will go on the page. At the moment, I'm not in the mood talking about Gerald Charles even
No.
more.
No.
We have here BW in the house. Hello, good evening.
RBW.
So, the GPHG, in my opinion, is an interesting thing. One question rose up, and the question was, how much is the participating fee to participate in the first round?
It's about
Um,
$700, is it? 700 Swiss francs, sorry.
it
And then I
used to
think
be,
it increases
yes,
per
it
every
used to be,
time you get through to another category, doesn't it?
yeah, it
Yeah.
used to be 700. That is, I think, the first time that we talked about the GPHG 2 or 3 hours years ago. Now it's 800. But in
Right,
my opinion, it's still money well spent, particularly for
very
small
good.
brands.
Great publicity
Yeah,
for 800 Swiss francs. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. And then I think it goes about times 10, doesn't it? When you're
yeah.
through to the next when you get through to the next sort
Next
of point
round,
of
the final
round
round. Yeah,
round of people. That's what I'm looking for. Next round, yeah,
yeah. I think it's 5,000 or something like that.
yeah,
And you have to supply a watch, which is then also an obstacle.
yeah, sure,
So at the moment, it's enough to have a description of the watch, showing some photos and mentioning a price. But in the next round, they must supply the physical watches so the jury can can evaluate those watches and make a judgment based on real watches.
Especially if you're an independent who's not, just made a couple of the prototypes. Must be
Yeah.
very hard.
But for me, a very exciting time because very often I'm discovering brands that I haven't researched or brands that I've never been heard of. And one particular watch that draw my attention is this one here by a small company, Kini Clays. And the watch is called the Einser Central Seconds Founder Edition. No, the
I was just going to
GPH.
say you were showing a picture of that Hublot, which looks like a, a white paper Tipex sort of
Yeah, yeah.
a Tipex,
Mm,
to white out your writing that you put wrongly.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
You're on fire today. Yeah, very good comparisons, I must say. So yeah, I came across this company, Kini Clays, and if I'm honest, I was or I came across this article in 2022 on Monochrome, and I remember that. So I saw the watch first 1.5 years ago on Monochrome. I read the story, but then something happened and I didn't cover it. Back then, I already wanted to cover it, but for some reason I didn't do it. So, but the story of Kalinik Clays sounded familiar, and now I have two tabs. What is that here?
got the GPHG in the monochrome tab on LV.
Yeah, not only that, I wanted to have Kalinik Clays. So 1 second, I'll stop the screen and present it again. Okay, now we go. Because I wanted to go, no, I wanted to go to Kalinik Clays directly. Kalinik Clays. Okay, I wanted to go to their webpage directly.
So on first impressions, as soon as you glance at this watch, what do you think? What are your first impressions when you look at it?
The first impression was not really the front side of the watch. What drew my attention was the movement.
Right.
So usually I'm reading the description, but the first thing that I do is check the movement out,
Yeah.
because many of those watches have spectacular movements, and you really have to discover those watches
Sure.
in a kind of way. And in my opinion, that is exactly the case here with Kalinik Clays.
But the front is the face of the watch, isn't it? I mean,
True.
we all know about the movement being the insides and the body of the watch, but what are your first impressions of the face of the watch?
The face of the watch didn't draw my attention, to be honest. In my opinion, this is not the highlight of the watch.
Yeah.
The technology that goes into making the dial and so on is quite fascinating. But in my opinion, and this is only my personal taste, the front side of the watch doesn't convince me to buy it.
No.
It
So
is the movement, but that is my personal opinion. They put a lot of effort into this particular watch, with the dial, and maybe we can discuss that if I'm able to pull their their web page
their
up,
website,
which I still fail to do. 1 second. Yeah, no, it should. Yeah, here we go. So that is their watch.
So yeah, they've got this Hammond ring on the outside, haven't they, with the Roman numerals on?
Yeah. So I'm not sure what material they're using there. I think it's also
Stainless steel case they've got.
Yeah, the case is stainless steel. Do you know what that outer ring is made of?
The outer ring, I'm not too sure what that's made of. No, I'm not
Yeah,
too.
because I couldn't find. I was fascinating about the inner part, so that
The inner
dark
part, yeah, the black part,
ring.
it says a gear shade central covered with grey transparent Ganfeur enamel. So I
Yeah.
thought that may be like the flanquet we were talking about earlier on, so but or the pioneer
Mm.
sort of style with
Yeah. So
engraved with transparent enamel on over the top, or transparent grey enamel on the top.
mm. So apparently that pyramidal pattern here is hand engraved and then covered with enamel, with transparent enamel. What I really like, or what is spectacular here, is that little plaque. I would say that round plaque, which is then engraved with tremblage.
So, Jonathan, just for the layman in us and myself particularly,
Yeah.
so what is tremblage? Tremblage finishing, it says it's got on it.
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with what exactly tremblage is. Do you know?
So tremblage is looks at first sight like a frosting or sandblasting. One second, I'm trying to. So it looks like sandblasted, but actually this is done by hand
Ah,
with an
wow,
engraving
right,
tool, and you need a very long experience doing those surfaces in a homogeneous way. If you try to cut or to do a doll like that, there will be inconsistencies, and so your result will not be perfect. And yeah, only a few people, I think, in the Glashütte region are still doing this tremblage technique. We've been talking about this when we were talking about a Moritz Grossmann watch. Moritz Grossmann has a watch with a tremblage. One second.
right. So you're actually sort of preparing a frosted pattern, but by hand engraving
Yeah.
in minute detail.
Yes. Exactly.
Wow,
Yes.
wow.
So it is a very complex
Time
process.
consuming.
Second. Here it's Moritz Grossmann, and that is their tremblage style.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Interesting.
Now let's go back to
So
Paris.
is it a thing that's come from Germany, tremblage, or
As
is that
far
a
as
very
I
famous?
learned, yes, I've never
Yeah.
seen the tremblage engraving on another watch than a German one.
Right.
Lange also had a Handwerkskunst with a tremblage engraving. Moritz Grossmann is the other company, and now Kalinig and Clays also do that.
Right. Very interesting. Oh.
So
So the hands are handmade, aren't they? And then
the hands are handmade in-house by those two artisans, and great amount of time and skills go into that. And
they
the
got polished chamfers and straight graining, it
Yes.
says on them.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that straight graining, is that to do tremblage as well? Would that be hand
No,
engraving on them?
that is graining. There is no tremblage here on the dials. What I like here is that recessed part, which is a kind of internal angle. And I've been talking to Johannes Kalinic earlier this week for over an hour, and he gave me an idea about how much they are doing and what they are doing and what they are planning. And he may or he's invited to join us on Elite Horology, and I hope that they are going to make it late August, beginning of September. So I'm certainly going to ask them how they achieve that recessed part here in the middle of those hands.
So they're only making 22 of these pieces, aren't they? And apparently all watches have been reserved.
the founders
Um,
edition with this pyramid pattern is 8.
8.
8,
Wow.
yeah. So they're having another line. So
So it says it's price on application, price on
the founders edition is all sold out. Then they
yeah.
have this kind of guilloche pattern. I'm not sure how. Yeah, those are 22, but
Oh right, okay.
all watches are reserved. And their latest project here is a Hong Kong edition because they teamed up with a Hong Kong watch dealer, and not sure how many they are doing. They are 10 pieces.
Right.
So all very limited, very small numbers, and in my opinion, a very interesting company. So Kalinic and Claes are two former employees of Lange. They've been working for Lange.
Ooh,
I think Kalinic was in charge of Lange One assembly, and Claes also was in a higher position at Lange. And just imagine they are leaving Lange to make their own watches now. You can you can count 22 watches plus 8 is 30, plus then how many, 10, so 40 watches in total. I don't know how long it takes them to make those watches, but if we have 40 watches and times 25,000 francs, which is the price, um, you're reaching a number of 1 million euros. So that is their revenue or their income for probably 2 or 3 years. So you can imagine how small the company is, and
very small.
how much
Yeah.
work and how much of a risk that is to leave a good job at Lange and just do their own thing.
Well, it's obviously a passion,
Yeah,
labor
but
of love. You know, it's something they want to try to achieve themselves. It's
yeah, but we all know a guy who says you can't live from super chats alone. And from
Google Ads
passion
alone.
alone, you're
Yeah.
probably not able to make a living as well. So I applaud them for doing that stuff and for going that far and that crazy. Um,
Absolutely.
and I hope that we see much more from them very soon.
So they're 21, 41 mils, aren't they? And 11 mils
Yes,
thick.
exactly. Yes.
So, yeah.
And in my opinion, the movement finishing is spectacular. When
So
you mm,
this is they call it the KC001.1 movement, don't they? This.
yes, that is, yeah, Kalinik Clays, and yeah, probably the first one.
Yeah, the first movement they've
And the
made.
first version, he told me that they are working on an improved version. I think I remember what he told me, but I want him to say that before. I don't want to spill the beans what they have in the pipeline, just in case that this is still a
Sure,
secret.
sure.
But if you have a look at the anglage that you see here with the inward angles, internal angles, the frosted movement bridges, also the elaborate finishing here on those wheels,
Yeah,
you get an idea how much work they are doing on those parts. He told me that the bridges are made in-house, and most of the gearings are finished in-house as well. You can see here even on those teeth, you can see an anglage and high-end polishing. That is a lot of work to do, and I applaud them for going into that effort and doing that.
yeah. They really do look amazingly hand finished. Those wheels, those with the teeth on, those
Yeah.
cogs, definitely.
So here is the overall movement design, and I find that very interesting because we are very often talking about Glashütte movement architecture, which is usually a big three-quarter plate that covers a lot up from from what is going underneath. Um,
I was just going to
Kalinic,
mention the three-quarter plates. Yeah,
yeah,
looking at this.
But this is not really a three-quarter plate. I would say this is probably a half plate.
Half
Uh,
plate, yeah.
but they pierced it out to let you participate in the technology in what is going on underneath. However, they're still using gold chatons here just to show where they're coming from and what they are able to do.
Do you know they're making their own hairsprings?
The hairsprings, the swing system apparently is purchased. He told me to create your own swing system, you need millions of euros of
Sure.
budget, and at the
Yeah.
moment they simply don't have it. But apart from the swing system and the mainspring, he says everything is their own. So that is their own in-house work.
Sure.
So everything has been recalculated and the parts has been adapted. What struck me when I showed this movement to somebody else, the first question is, where are the Geneva stripes? And
Yeah.
I had to tell them. So first of all, this is not a watch that is made in Geneva, and but there is a similar thing like Geneva stripes, which is Glashütte Ribblings. We all know that, but I like that they broke with the tradition without going cheap and without going easy. Quite the opposite. I think they went a lot of extra miles to do a Teutonic Bauhaus-oriented design, but then they let us participate in the mechanics and into the fascination that is about those movements.
Mm.
Additionally, I told that person who was asking for Geneva stripes, do you know why Geneva stripes have been invented or why they have been applied in the first place, Thomas?
Is it to take away the mess that's been made while assembling the watch?
Yeah,
Or
it is. It is to cover up the scratches done by the watchmakers during
yeah, I was going
assembly.
to say things like the scratches and things like that. They've been
Yeah,
put there while the person's been assembling the watch.
yeah. So yeah. If that is true, then it's much more complicated to have such a homogeneous way of treating those bridges and those parts. And Kalinic told me how difficult it is because they're doing all those bevels, all those anglages, also the circumferences here, and so for them it's a constant process of taping off delicate parts, then sandblasting. By the way, they're using different grains of sandblasting here on those
Right.
bridges. So even that is different on different bridges and parts. And so he told me that it's very difficult to achieve this kind of effect. And I'm looking forward to hear more about that. By the way, this is still a rendering here. This is not
Oh,
a real
really?
movement. I'm waiting for their true pictures, because he also told me about the engraving on those bridges, and you clearly can't see an engraving here
Mm.
on those
Mm.
bridges. Something that also differentiates them, they're not using the red stones, the rubies, just like everybody else. They're using the same material but clear, so it's clear corund. Red corund would be rubies, blue corund would be sapphire. You can say it's clear sapphire, and that is also the truth.
I hope they're doing nice engraving on the bridges because I've seen the Stefan Kadoki's engravings that he has done on his bridges, and they're really nice. They're really a lovely finish to the final piece, you know, to
Actually,
be
the
able to see.
GPHG gives us a teaser. Now, if I could make that bigger here. Have a look here at the balance cock. They engrave the balance cock, but they make those waves which are really deep. So that will be a highlight. So they are not doing this kind of Baroque engraving, just like Glashütte Original or Lange does. They are engraving the balance cogs, but in their own way. Also, look at that counter spring that pushes on the regulator. Others use a swan neck spring, but they're using a kind of modern version of this.
Right.
Also, have a look at this bridge, which is my favorite part here. A very delicate, small bridge with a lot of inward internal angles. And that reminds me of the bridge on the Lange Zeitwerk.
So what is this bit on the side of the case with it looks like a little lever?
That's
You
a power
know,
reserve indicator.
a power reserve
Yeah,
indicator. Wow,
yeah,
that's a neat little place to position it.
yeah. I think it's a very neat idea because all the power reserve indicators on dials are a kind of distraction or
Yeah,
are
definitely.
destroying the.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's a great touch. That's
yeah,
really nice. Just have it on the side, hidden away,
yeah. Hidden away but
discreetly,
still present.
very
Yeah.
discreet.
So yes, so we have here a lot of effort. Ron is asking, what are we looking at? We are looking here at the small company called Kini Clays in Glashütte. Two former Lange employees making their own thing since 2 years, and in my opinion, it's a super cool, very interesting watch, and something that really excites me is the price, because usually you would expect a price of like 50 or 70,000 Swiss francs. At the moment, it's 25,000 francs, which in my opinion is way undervalued. Now, the bad news is they realize that they've been on the very low side of the calculation. So future editions will unfortunately be more expensive. But
Yeah, I
in
would
my
have thought
opinion,
40,000 at least, I would have thought.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So OC is ripping me in pieces already. I lost 50% of the viewers talking about this unknown brand for so long. I apologize, OC. Um, I'm I promise never to do that again.
Oh,
Of
it's
course,
elite horology, I see. It's
yeah,
elite horology.
yeah,
It's
that's it. So, but talking about the devil here, or talking about OC, OC got a new watch, and now
yeah,
where's the picture
very nice.
that I prepared? I prepared the picture, but now I can't find it. OC, forgive me, OC.
I've forgotten the reference number. I'm not too up on my Patek reference numbers.
5396. Uh, yeah,
5396.
yeah.
Right.
So 1 second, he sent me a picture. He always sends me those live pictures that I have then to convert. So OC, OC, OC. Okay. Okay. Share screen.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that beautiful? Those diamond baguettes, indices, baguette diamonds, sorry.
Yeah. So
Um,
that is
Gorgeous.
the new 5396, which is an annual calendar,
Yeah.
automatic, with that beautiful. Um, is it OC? Would you call it smoky dial, or is it um, uh,
Fume, you
dégradé?
mean?
It's
Is
called
it
in
fume
French.
style?
Yeah, so fading color. But the main highlight are the baguettes. Usually, I'm not a friend of gemstones, diamonds on dials. I've always find them tacky. But here I draw the line because I think they mimic those classic batons on Patek Calatravas almost to perfection.
Yes, it's a 2024 model, isn't it? It's looks great.
Yeah,
I think they I think they could have color matched the date wheel. Although it does stand out as indices. It does take the place of an indices, the date wheel. So I'd rescind that actually.
I think it will be tough
Doesn't need
to.
to be.
I think it will be tough to read the those those discs if they really color match them, particularly
Yeah,
for.
it needs to be white to be one of the indices. Yeah, so that's right.
That was what I was looking for. Gradient rim, black gradient rim. Sunburst blue dial with a black gradient rim. Thank you very
Right.
much, OC. So, in my opinion, this is the best watch that Patek introduced for 2024 at Watches and Wonder. People can go back when we covered the new models, Patek Philippe. I said that. I was pretty surprised that OC made it true because I thought that he was going after a world time. This is simply stunning, pure class. And I think OC went one step up in the collector's ladder from hype models,
Yeah, I
mostly
do.
Rolex.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
it's gone from hype baby, from just Rolex AP,
Yeah.
Royal Oaks to something
Pure
really
class.
classy.
Pure
Something
class.
classy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm super happy. When I saw the watch, I was really happy because finally OC got it. That is the impression that I had from, like you say, from Rolex and AP now to a really nice watch
Yeah.
that just shows passion and class.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So Holmberg is asking OC, what's the next step in the snob ladder?
I love Homel's comments. They're great.
Yeah. Mr. Wilkinson is asking, how jealous is AC3 of this acquisition?
Oh,
I'm not sure if he's really jealous
no.
because I think it's out of his price league at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely out of his price range. But I
Yeah,
think he's pretty happy for LC.
yeah.
And he's following his Patek, the heritage of AC3 in his Patek prophecy. You know, his prophecy to buy Patek.
Yep. So we have here an unknown guest. I know who it is. Hello to Unseen Report. Good to see you. We've been talking in private, and he promised to watch us live. I hope that he's still there, and I hope that we haven't lost him so far.
Yeah, good to see you. I know who it is Unseen Report,
Yeah.
so it's good to see
So
you.
original OC, Platona and Richard. Didn't he have a Platona? He has a platinum day date, but I thought he had a
Platona, he obviously hasn't got Platona. I
yeah.
know someone unboxed one. It was Jeff unboxed one on the Colony the other day. Oh, no,
Okay.
on Sea Show. They raised a lot of money for the Ronald McDonald charities, and so props to LC for that. But Jeff unboxed one with a
Okay.
diamond baguette indices, and I think OC was a little bit jelly bags maybe. He was very enamored by that watch, and I think it might have inspired him to want to go onto the Platona ladder as well. So yeah, Platona, but RM, don't do LC, please.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
I will have a word with him about
Don't do it.
RM. Yeah. So Forban Colossus is asking here a question that I honestly don't understand. Maybe you as an English fellow, English speaking fellow
I
can
see Jonathan
translate.
is still applying ad hominem bias in the questions he answers. No one ever seems to grow up in the pretty YouTube world, in the petty YouTube world. Um,
I mean, when people are asking me a question, I can give my opinion. So there's always a bias. So I don't understand what he's talking about.
bias, yeah, a bias. I don't know, Forbin. No, I don't think. I think Jonathan's not being biased. I mean,
Oh, I am, but this is my opinion. Doesn't mean that that I'm right or everybody has to follow me.
yeah. And as for people growing up in the YouTube world, I mean, people are who they are. I mean, I can't really answer that question, Forbin. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay. So so OC is referring to Jeff, who got the Platona. That's three people who got it before he did. So one is Marcelo, one is Jeff, and who is the third Platona owner?
I'm not sure. It's probably someone in the colony.
Probably yes.
Boston collector, I guess.
Oh yeah,
Um,
could be. Yeah.
um,
Okay. Doesn't matter. Should we go to
yeah.
Porsche design or should we call it a day?
I like
Thomas, what
got
do
to
you think?
Porsche design. Yeah, I'm liking it. I like I like your Porsche design that you've got anyway. It's a
Okay.
nice watch.
Good. So, 1 second. So since since 2.5 year,
And we've had a recent collaboration on
yeah,
your
with
watch,
Hondinki,
haven't
yeah,
we?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that is why people have been asking me if I'm. Now they ask for my email address to make it visible. I can't believe that. Today, next. I can't believe that. I think my Google Chrome browser is totally faked.
Oh.
Okay. Da, 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 da. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
My Google Chrome browser's fights. I can only hit certain sites with it. It won't let me
Okay.
pull up certain sites. It won't let me pull up. It's just I don't know why, but it won't let me pull certain sites up. But, I guess that's Google Chrome for you. So let me just turn
I
to the.
can't because I was relying on their pictures actually, and okay, Cosmos Porsche. Let's try it that way. Let's try to find it with Google. Porsche.
Yeah, Hallmark's saying he doesn't like the H in the subdial of the new Porsche design, and yeah, I know what you mean. It's Hodinkee though. It's how many Hodinkee watches have we still got? I mean, a lot of them sell out quickly, but how many have we still got on their website that they're trying to get rid of? We've got the Ed Sheeran one. We've got the Ben Clymer G-Shock, both the G-Shocks. They still can't get rid of them. They're still
Yeah.
trying to. They're still trying to flog those off, and they can't get rid of them. The Ed Sheeran and the Ben Clymer.
Mm. I
Still,
think I think it's a sign. It is a sign of the current market. I mean, the moment that hype cooled down, Hodinkee was in massive problems, and yeah, now they're sitting on those limited edition. Surprisingly or not surprisingly, the Porsche Design limited edition sold out. Okay, but now I managed to get the images that I wanted. So back 1972, so 52 years ago, Ferdinand Alexander Porsche, part of the Porsche family, he was the designer of the Porsche 911. And there was an agreement, or there was a rule, because there was a change in the shareholder structure, and there was a new rule that no Porsche family member was allowed to be actively working for the Porsche company anymore. So consequently, designer Ferdinand Alexander Porsche had to leave the company, and he founded then the Porsche Design Studio in Austria. And one of his first projects was this particular watch. Truth to be told, was the first watches actually were meant to be gifts for executives, for Porsche executives. So
Right.
retirement, 50 years of employment, and so on. So those were the watches. That was the first idea of this project. He commissioned a little Swiss company called Orfina to produce those watches, and that is the original OG, not OC.
Yeah.
And this watch was
The
groundbreaking.
the Orfino was the original Tom Cruise one, wasn't it? The one.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Cruise wore the Orfina in both Top Gun movies, by the way. The
Oh,
second
really?
one, the second one is a restored watch that came directly from Porsche design, but it's an old
Right.
watch.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Sorry,
so
carry
of
on.
yeah, the small company Orfina produced those watches with the back then brand new movement Valjoux 7750, 1972 we're talking about. And Porsche design had the was the first watch that featured the Valjoux 7750. Problem was, after 2 years, Valjoux stopped production of this movement, and then they had to use another movement, which was then the Lemania 5100.
Great
Now,
movement. Great
yeah,
movement, the Lamani 5100.
yeah, almost indestructible, and used in many military watches. So, but the DNA of Porsche design chronographs is here. First of all, that scale here, that tachometer scale that starts with 1000. The base is in kilometers. Also, the Porsche design logo is here. The old one, they changed the logo to a new one. PD they changed it to a very edgy fonts later, and here Porsche design written underneath. One of the characteristics also is the crown. Yeah, here's the crown. You can see the crown. 1 second, let me make that bigger. So that old Porsche design logo is also here in the crown. You can see how bad, and I'll be honest, those old Porsche design watches, the quality was crap. So the material they used for the case was steel or brass. They applied that black coating, not in a PVD process. That was an old process, and it was not very durable, as you can see here on this watch or on the next one here. So that black coating was not really durable, and that was one of the main issues of
totally
those.
come off, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Totally come off.
But the bracelet quality is absolutely hideous. It's basically just a tuna can, which is bent and with two little metal sticks, and it's held together like that. So the quality of those Orfina Porsche design chronographs never was good, and that kept me away from buying one, because either you have one that is totally worn down, or you have one that is totally worn down, then has been blasted and newly coated, and then it loses the edge, the shape of the case and everything.
Yeah.
So that is 50 years ago. Then the Porsche family bought a watch company called Eterna. They made a limited edition 25 years of this particular watch. That is from the Eterna time, not really accurate. With also the logo is not placed accurately here. Porsche design says here on top, 25 years on the bottom. And so the entire watch was not really accurate to the old one. So 25 years ago, I didn't buy this watch at all. And then in 2022, they finally came with that re-edition celebrating 50 years of this particular watch. The watch finally was then done in titanium, which is better case material, lighter. Has a PVD coating process with DLC technology, diamond like carbon. It's not diamond like coating, diamond like carbon, but you see all the elements from the old one still there. So you can see here the tachometer starts at 1000 with a little kilometer base being there. The old Porsche design logo here, the old Porsche design lettering here. Then you see the crown. One second, I'll show you the crown. Where's the crown? The crown has the old Porsche design logo. Here you can see it, the old Porsche design logo. The bracelet is applied the old way. That is important because newer versions have so-called soldered end links that look totally differently, and in my opinion, ruin the visuals of this particular watch.
So is this 50th anniversary one still available?
No, it's totally sold out.
Totally sold out.
It's totally sold out, unfortunately, and it was limited to 500. They continue doing those, but they're changing it now because they don't want to piss off the collectors who bought the first ones. So they they modify the concept a little bit to be a little bit different. But in my opinion, this is the most accurate re-edition of this particular watch. And now we're going to the Porsche Design webpage.
So these new Hodinkee ones, they're not made by a Turner, are they? They've got a Porsche work movement, haven't they?
Yes, they are made by Porsche. So Porsche sold Eterna 15 years ago. So they owned Eterna for 10 years and then sold Eterna. So they don't have anything to do with Eterna anymore. Now Porsche Design have their own little manufacturer in Solothurn in Switzerland. And the movement is a modified 7750 by a company called Concepto.
Right.
Concepto also makes tourbillons and all kinds of.
So just on a fun tangent for a while.
Yeah, please.
Are you a big Porsche Design fan in general?
Say it again.
Are you a big Porsche Design fan in general of the watches they've done in the past?
So I'm not interested in any other Porsche Design watches other than this chronograph re-edition.
Right. So I quite like the Ocean 2000 they did. I mean, that was an IWC one. I mean,
that was IWC, yes.
I was going to say, which of the watches have you been most impressed by? The Orfina, the IWC, the Eterna, or these new Concepto ones? Which do you think were the best ones?
I'm a big fan of the IWC collaborations, and maybe I'm gonna do a show one day about those because, in my opinion, those were groundbreaking watches, and they saved the IWC company and also brought Porsche Design onto a very high level. So, in my opinion, it's a very interesting story. Super interesting watches that nobody else had the guts to do. And those are here. That is a compass watch, by the way. So those are really cool watches. And one day I will make a show about them. Now I'm trying to find the different variations. They should be down there somewhere.
So back to the chronograph that Hodinkee did.
Yeah.
Mobs was saying, do you think $9,500 is blasphemy?
It's not, because the 50 years limited edition was priced at 7,000 euros, which was cheaper, admittedly, but it had a closed case back. It didn't have the solid end links, and time has gone. They increased the price now. In euros, the price is now 9,000 versus 7,000 of the first edition. I'm browsing here because I'm failing to find the Hodinkee one. Okay, here's the Hodinkee edition. So let's talk about the Hodinkee for a second, and I'll tell you what.
These are completely sold out now, are they?
Actually, you can buy them at Porsche Design. So I could put them here in the
Okay.
shopping cart. So if you still want them, Porsche Design directly sells them, and probably one of the ADs also sells them.
Right.
So
Okay.
it should not be impossible to get those.
Right.
Okay, now what is different to the one that I love and to the OG? First of all, we have here the basis in miles now. It says 1 mile, not 1 kilometer. It starts with 750 versus 1000 that the other one does. The PD logo is still the old one. I applaud them. The problem is here the chronometer certified lettering underneath. The old one didn't have it. The re-edition 2.5 years ago didn't it. However, all those watches are chronometer certified. So even my watch, it doesn't say chronometer certified, but I have a certificate from COSC. So, but I don't like that that lettering, that logo. What I also don't like is the Japanese way of displaying the day of the week. I have great fun in using the German version of the day of the week, and I can also opt for the English. But here, Japanese and English is not really attractive to me. Now,
Which is the Japanese what style of displaying the day of the week?
they made it Japanese because they introduced it in Japan, which is one
Right.
of
Okay.
their main markets, and
Right.
they
Okay.
wanted to cater the Japanese collectors. Now, what I like is they're still having the old PD logo here on the crown, but here you can see they have those solid end links that are different to the historical old end links.
Right. Yeah.
So the attachment of the old one, of the original one, and the 50 years limited edition is different, and in my opinion, it creates a different visuals. Also, the age then on the dial is not attractive to me. I like the fake patina actually.
Yeah. I guess maybe. I'm not too the fake. Yeah. You mean the fake loom? The
Yeah.
faux loom. Faux
Mhm.
loom. Um. Yeah. It looks quite good. Looks fairly good.
Yeah.
I'm not a hater.
Yeah, I have nothing against it because many of those old watches have gained this kind of patina, so I can easily live with it. What I don't like here is the pointy hand, because the old one had a straight hand here.
It's a general. What do you think of the watch? Do you think it's worth $9,500? Do you think it's a good reinterpretation? Do you think it's
It's probably the best one that you can get at the moment, but I'm still crying tears because, in my opinion, the old one is still much better.
right? Okay.
The one that I bought 2.5 years ago was
Yeah.
cheaper, and in my opinion, that is the closest recreation to the old OG, and that is the point why I love that watch, because it's so close to the old one, to the original design, and I see no point in stacking them up now just because they are other variations of the watch. Mosquito alert.
Yeah. Got them off. Yeah.
Yeah. OC is afraid Porsche watch talk.
Oh yeah.
Another
25
25.
drop in views. It's
Yeah.
25% drop in views again.
OC, I'm dropping the link. Hop on and save the show.
Come on, Ossie. We need a superstar on the show. We
Yeah,
need some
we need you. You're
YouTube
needed.
glamour.
So the other alternative, and you asked me if this watch is worth buying it. Now, what Porsche Design also introduced is here the so-called black numbered edition. After they realized that edition, that initial edition was so successful. So they make now the so-called black numbered edition, and that is also 9,000 euros. But it is a little bit different to the OG. Now here you can see the edgy PD logo versus the old one from the swing 60s. Porsche design lettering is also more
I
modern.
actually like that better. I don't mind the edgy. I don't like the edgy PD logo, but I look at those batons, and I prefer those white batons to the faux ones.
Yeah. But it also has the chronometer certified lettering, which was never part of the original one. It also has the new PD logo on the crown.
Right.
And the tachometer starts with 500 and not with 1000. So they had to tweak it a little bit. It also has the solid end links, as you can see here, but it has a transparent case back.
So you can see that Valjuice-esque.
Yeah. But you can see you can see that they put some reasonable effort in modifying that or making it a little bit more appealing. By the way, one thing that the modified Concepto movement has is an instantaneous jump of the day of the week and the date at 12. The old 7750, it takes a couple of minutes until both change. But here those do instantaneous.
Snap, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes a big snap.
Yeah. Interesting.
So in my opinion, it's a close tie between the Hodinkee and that one. Technically, it's the same watch. The Hodinkee doesn't have the transparent case back, but the Hodinkee
doesn't Hodinkee have a big H on the bottom?
No, I think it says Hodinkee. 1 second, let me.
Because that would put me right off.
1 second, I'll go on the Hodinkee. Okay, now funnily, okay. Why does that also always change? Okay.
Yeah,
so that is the case back.
It had an H. Oh, just on the case back, it's got
the Hodinkee and an H on the case back.
No,
it also has an H here on the dial. Yeah, on the sub dial here, it also has an H.
Oh, it's got an H on the sub dial. That puts me off.
Yeah,
that puts me off. Yeah, that's a no seller for me. So I'm with the new one, the new.
Okay.
One with the old,
the all black edition. Logo. So they're making 1,000 of them per year. So your chances are good to get one of them if you really want to go there.
I think how do you rate them in general as a chronograph? How do you rate them? Do you think how do they compare to other chronographs? Would you say such as I don't know, such as Speedmasters and Navitimers and the usual sort of chronographs that you.
I'm no delusional fantasist. With 9,000 euros for a Valjoux chronograph, that is a lot of money, and they're on the high end of the pricing. If you compare it to Breitling or Tag Heuer or other chronographs. Sure. You pay for the name Porsche, you pay for the unique concept, you pay for a titanium watch with a titanium bracelet, but it is not a cheap offer by comparison. It was not a cheap offer back then when it was 7,000, and it's not a cheap offer now. It's really on the high end of the level. But you love the design or not, and I love this watch simply for its design.
So there's a bit of hype chucked in there with it. You think a bit of hype in the name of the brand chucked in there with the pricing.
Well, the initial one was presented in 1972. I think they sold 50,000 of them. And this is a childhood dream of mine. I'm now turning 60, so I was 10 when this watch was presented. So when I was shopping for cool items when I was 15, 16, I saw those Porsche design watches around Porsche drivers, cool guys, and I wanted such a watch. Probably somebody who is 20 doesn't understand that because he didn't grow up with those people. But for me, it was always something very cool, very special. And I was super happy when Porsche made that re-edition. And it didn't really matter how much it costed. I really wanted it.
Yeah.
But truth to be told, before that hype, those used old chronographs in the bad quality were available at around 2,500. Now it's difficult to get one below 5,000. So they increased in prices as well. Now, if you ask me what is the better value for money, one of those old for 5 or one of those new for 9, I would say certainly the new one is better value for money.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm a fan of titanium watches myself. I mean, I do like titanium. And, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
if they made it in steel, I would have been probably a little bit more hesitant in paying that money. And it's a
Yeah.
very solid case. Still in titanium, it's not really a light watch. The movement is very heavy, and the case is really solid. So yeah, it's certainly a solid watch.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and it needs to be in titanium.
So that's the Porsche talk.
Yes,
So
I
that's
think we.
the Porsche segment of the show tonight, guys. So
Yeah, I'm just having because one thing that I really like about the Porsche, and I wanted to show you that, in my opinion, the buckle is one of the best in the industry, and I made a little video on my channel, and I wanted to share that with you. A second, and then we are wrapping it up, Thomas. We're almost done. So it has a micro adjustment. It is a very short buckle, and it's very easy to operate. In my opinion, I haven't seen a better micro adjustment buckle so far. So watch that video. I'm just muting. Here, double button lock. And then there is a little hidden ratchet that is counted by a spring.
all right.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's it. That is not part of the old version, of course. That is a new invention, and I think Porsche Design did a very good job of that.
I'll just say shout out to my friend Junie Johnson in the chat. Good to see you, Junie.
Yeah, good to see him. I saw also Jay Gray Sweater is here. All
Jay Gray.
the celebrities are here. Unseen Report is still here with us. That is very good to see. So we didn't scare off too many people. JB is still in the house, and he says, "My fave E46 M3. Come on,
It's BMW.
Yeah, that is BMW. So why is he saying that here? I don't get the reference.
I think he's saying that you ought to get BMW instead of a Porsche or a Mercedes.
I said
That's
it on
BMW talk, isn't it? It's Archie's talk.
Yeah. I think I said it to Archie. You have to keep in mind where I grew up. I grew up in the city of Stuttgart. In the city of Stuttgart, we're having Mercedes and Porsche. Munich is 2 hours away, and Munich is the bigger neighbor because Munich is a bigger town. So it is like little brother versus older brother. And of course, there is a rivalry. So when the football club from Stuttgart plays against Munich, there is always there's never fun. We are having our Oktoberfest in Stuttgart, which we believe is better than the one in Munich, and so on. And of course, we believe that the car makers from Stuttgart are way better than the car makers from Munich, which is BMW. So there is no way on earth that you're going to convince me of a BMW. I will always be a Mercedes and Porsche guy, and the reason why that is where I grew up.
So there you have it, JB.
Yeah, no way.
No M3 for Higgy. No.
Okay, so Jake Gray Sweater talking about spelling mistake. I have no idea what he's talking about, but anyhow, this is fully.
Patel says Higgy cannot claim
shit.
Oktoberfest superiority without showing the Lederhosen.
On the next London meetup.
We don't want to see that.
On the next London meetup, when we're doing the Bro House Reloaded, I'm gonna show up in Lederhosen. How about that?
No. No, please, no, please.
Okay. So Thomas, I think we had a
great show. Been a great show.
Yeah, I hope that I didn't bore you to death, and I hope that I didn't bore the audience to death. Any questions left?
It's been good. No, I think I'm out of questions. I think you covered it all. Good to see the Kini Clay's watch and get some info on that. And had a little bit of Porsche talk. Lost a few views, as LC put it. Good to see LC's nice new watch.
Yep.
And
I think that is the news of the week. OC's new watch. And congratulations again, my friend.
Absolutely.
I'm super happy.
Congratulations on that. It's beautiful.
Okay, so let's wrap this baby up.
JB, yeah.
Higgy, can I share your secret other channel? Yeah, if it's Jonathan Quill Higgins III, if you're talking about that, or if you're talking about Elite Horology, you can share them with whoever you want. I have nothing to hide. It's not secret, by the way. There is no secret here about my channel. There is Elite Horology. My previous channel is the Swiss and John Show, but we're not doing another one. Do I have another one? Shit. Thomas. I only have Swiss and John and wink wink.
Swiss and John, Jonathan Higgins, and
and Elite Horology. That's who I am. Yeah. Okay. Thomas, thank you very much again for holding my hand. It helps me with my nervousness and with your valuable input. Hope that we're doing a show soon again.
Yeah, great to see you, Jonathan, and great show. And thanks to everyone in the chat for your input and your comments. And it's been great to see everyone.
Yep. Thank you for watching. Thanks for the guys in the comments, and thanks for the guests who are playing the replay. And now enough thanks. Let's wrap this baby up. Everybody have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone. Peace.